Hi everyone, welcome to a very long overdue Project PanPorn update. This is going to be very short and sweet, followed by a very quick check-in for my no-buy year, low-buy year. You're not wrong. Those of you who commented and were like, come on, it's a low-buy year because you're still buying stuff, but I stayed away from calling it a low-buy year intentionally because one, I figured I'd be able to really justify a lot of purchases by calling it a low buy instead of a no buy, and I just wanted to keep the same name that Hannah used, which was no buy year. So that's why I wanted to keep it the same for that reason. And anyway, I'll talk about more about that the second part of this video. I just want to talk about my Project PanPorn. So this was a very long time ago. I had ended up asking people to vote for what palette they wanted to see, and people picked the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, which was really helpful because that was something that I used in conjunction with the Mario palette a lot anyway. Let me tell you, trying to get pan on a Natasha palette is so hard. I also have the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. So I've had some issues with my camera and with my computer. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get any footage up for the Naked Heat, but I'm going to try at least get a screen cap from my last video. And I lost my little footage from my Natasha Denona. After people voted for this one, I took a short, like 1-minute video just showing the palette and what it looked like before I started to focus on panning it for the Project PanPorn, and then I deleted it off my camera or something happened, which has happened to me a lot. I will put something on my camera, one of my SD cards, and then I will delete what's on there to make space for whatever I'm doing next, and sometimes I delete before I get onto my computer. So anyway, it looked basically untouched, even though I had used it quite a bit because those shadows are insane. So this is what my Naked Heat palette looked like as of my last Project PanPorn update, and this is what it looks like now. So I have pan on 3 shades. You would have seen this already if you watched, I believe, my Pan That Palette update, because I was mentioning how I used the shade Lumber with Isabel, the orange shade from the Mario palette, which was basically this lumber shade all over the lid with that orange in the crease. Very pretty, very warm. I really like the lumber shade because it's kind of like a rose gold shade. It's very reflective and just, let me see if I can get a simple swatch. So you've probably seen the shadow before. A lot of people tend to gravitate towards it with the Naked Heat palette because it is such a beautiful shade. There are a couple of things that are dupes for it as well. I did a Naked Heat review, really detailed review when it first came out, and I duped all the shadows that I could in here, so if that's of any interest to anyone. I also used Chaser and Sauced quite a bit. This was pretty easy though to hit pan on because these are shades that I swipe in my crease. So sometimes alongside with Isabel from the Mario palette, I would use Chaser and Sauce. Sometimes I would just use this palette on its own. You guys probably also know that I haven't been using these palettes a lot because I've been using other things. Project PanPorn is definitely going to start being a whole different creature because I'm not purchasing any more eyeshadow palettes. So I'm going to be able to focus on a lot of the stuff that I already have. So anyway, I didn't use a lot of these other shades that much. Occasionally, like I dipped in here and there, but these are the lighter shades are mostly what I ended up using with the Mario palette when I was using this palette. It's a very easy palette to just grab and create a very simple, warm look with. And then the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. So this, I'll just insert a picture of what it kind of looks like brand new. And this is what my palette looks like right now, and you can see that a lot of the shades still look almost untouched, even though I've used them so much. Limoncello is the only shade that I have pan on. That's the yellow duochrome shade, and that's largely in part because I use it as a face highlighter. Normally I will use this shadow as a face highlight. I sometimes put it in the inner corner and along my brow bone, sometimes like just lightly layered on top of whatever shadow I have on. I am wearing it as a face highlight today and on all the other places I just mentioned. It's a beautiful, easy to use shadow that I wish was available as a single, because when I inevitably finish this one, I'm going to be really upset because it's so good. In general, the Natasha Denona duochrome shadows are spectacular, just one of a kind. I have like a tiny dip in Tiger Lily and Mint Frost. Tiger Lily is usually a shade I put like underneath my lower lash line, and then Mint Frost is a shade I put on my lid, but very sparingly. I've actually started to use some of these shades more as blushes. So the back of the pan has these little holes in it. It does kind of make a rattling noise sometimes, like when you're putting your brush in there and it feels like it's loose, but they're magnetic, so you can pop them out, and I like popping them out so that I can use my big blush brush to use these shades as blush. I actually used Nudist, Peach Puff, and I used Xena, the purple shade, as my blush today. I just mixed them all together, and I think that's going to help curb my blush want a lot. I've been into more looks like this in general. I sometimes like gray and pink eyes, like maybe a lot of gray or pink eyeliner and pink or gray shadows, and then blush, just a lot of blush. So I haven't been using a lot of like colorful eyeshadow on a daily basis. I've been really sticking to cool pinks and grays, and for some reason it's just the phase that I'm in right now. So I'm gonna keep using the Tropic palette for the next month or so because I really like how these shades perform as blushes. So I'm kind of using it as a multi-purpose palette on my eyes and on my cheeks as well. And I really like using Limoncello all the time. Limoncello and Sparks from the Natasha Denona Gold palette have been two shadows I've been loving, just to add a little something extra to a look. So while I have been using those shadows a lot in conjunction with other things, nothing has been pretty spectacular. I can definitely use these more on camera, or at least this one more on camera, because I'm moving the Heat palette out now. So if you'd like to see the Tropic palette used in videos of some kind, let me know, because I can definitely do that. I'm adding in the Naked 3 palette, so I'm sticking with Urban Decay. This is the palette I started reaching for more over the last couple of weeks because pink and grays, that's basically what this palette is. So I already have pan on 3 of the shadows in here. Dust, Buzz, and Trick. I think Trick, that's the name of that one. It's long wiped away because I've used that shadow so much. Another shocking rose gold color. It does have a few similarities to L'Ombre from the Heat palette. Just in terms of reflectiveness, there's definitely more glitter in Trick though. I like using it wet. Sometimes you'll notice some of the shadows look kind of weird. And it's also a lot easier to use shadows that I use wet, foiled with Fix Plus. It's a lot easier to finish those shadows or hit pan on them that way than just using them dry. I think that's also the issue I'm having with the Tropic palette, because matte shades, using them dry, they're gonna last forever. These shadows are crazy. But anyway, this palette, this is what I've been reaching for a lot. I've been using some of these deeper, more grayish shadows on my lid and black eyeliner and just sort of smoking everything out. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been liking that look. I've kind of been channeling my younger self. Feels so weird saying that. But in the days of my youth, I definitely gravitated a lot towards pink and gray. So I've been really loving this palette a lot recently, and I want to get some more use out of it because it is a bit of an older palette. So if you'd like to see some throwback looks with the Naked 3, let me know as well. I'm going to start getting back into the comments. I've kind of glimpsed through them because, as I mentioned before, I was really not reading them or responding to them. I was kind of taking a step back, but I was just kind of glancing through just to see if there was anything pressing, because you never know. Now I'm going to dive in now instead of going back and responding to everything. So just in case you are wondering if you had any questions for me that I didn't respond to, that would be why. All right, that's enough for housekeeping and for Project PanPorn. My no-buy has not had a problem. I just started. So many people wanted an update. People are like, what's been going on? How have you been doing it? It's been fine. Like, there hasn't been anything to report on because I haven't done anything. I haven't purchased anything, obviously, because it's a no-buy. I haven't really struggled because this is what I wanted to do. This was my choice. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I'm doing it for myself. So it's a lot easier that way. It's not like I'm trying to meet a goal for somebody else. It's not like I'm trying to be like, look at me, look at how amazing I am and what I can do. It's just like, no, I wanted to do this for me. So it's been really easy. A lot of people were wondering why I chose the time that I did, and it was because I wanted to start as soon as I was committed to it, and I wanted to avoid the sale shopping because I knew I would overspend. I knew if I was planning a no-buy, I would stock up on everything. And then it wouldn't really be fun because I wouldn't be using anything. I'd be like, oh, well, I have backups of everything I figured I might run out of over the year. So I could kind of be like, oh, look, I didn't spend any money. But knowing I had spent a ton of money just before I officially started, right? So it's easy. There's definitely been a few moments where people have let me know about sales or have asked if I, like, oh, you wanted to try this product or you wanted to try this brand. They're having a 60% off sale. And it's been like, oh, that would be totally tempting, but I don't need the stuff. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm fine. I've got more than enough. I honestly have enough for probably 7 lifetimes, so I'm good. The only thing I think that was really that tempted me at first was like the day after I started my no-buy was when Urban Decay was like, hey, 50% off glitter. Really? Really? The only thing I really want though is this little set of the heavy metal liners. Now, this is why I held off from buying it even before, because I'm pretty sure it came out before I started my no-buy anyway. It has 3 little minis, I think they're minis, of the heavy metal liners, and one of them I already have, which is Midnight Cowboy, but there's 2 new ones, and I have all the other ones. I just love them. They're one of my favorite makeup products of all time, if not my absolute favorite. I just enjoy using them so much. I use them everywhere. Like, I like putting them on my lid in the inner corner. I use them for like the cut crease things. I just love glitter, and it's such an easy thing to use. These things. I have one in front of me from my last Get Ready With Me. I love them, but didn't need a repeat of one I already had. And honestly, I have them all. I have all of the other ones. So missing out on 2 of them, it hurts a little bit, but I will be fine because I'd probably use them a couple times and then I'd either really love them and keep using them, or they would make their way onto the shelf and get pulled out on a rare occasion like some of them do. Like, I definitely use this one a lot, and then the gold one, and Distortion I finished. So I kind of want to repurchase that one, but it's one of those weird areas where I'm not sure of like, do I repurchase this one even though I technically have other ones, but I finished that one? Is it a separate kind of product? I haven't made up my mind yet, but I haven't missed it enough. I've only wanted to use it about twice since I finished it, so I can wait a little bit. I don't need it right now because I don't feel like I would use it that much. But anyway, the point is everything has really been fine. I haven't really wanted to purchase anything. I've mostly been staying away from reading my emails about new releases. I haven't unsubscribed from everything, just in case something comes out that's interesting. Plus, I like to kind of keep up with stuff anyway. I'm kind of curious about new releases and what's coming out when, just out of curiosity's sake, but not because I actually want to buy the stuff. I've actually successfully avoided buying a lot of stuff over the last couple of months because it's been pretty easy to talk myself out of things when I look at all the other stuff I have. And it's like, I don't really need it. So anyway, that is my no-buy check-in. So far, so good. It's only been a couple weeks and thankfully everything is fine. I will definitely keep you guys updated, whether it's a dedicated check-in video or thrown in a video like this or something else. Haven't really settled on a format just yet, and there will be other like no-buy year related videos as well, like my empties and using old products and shopping my stash and all that stuff. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for all of the lovely video suggestions that you left for me. As I've said before, I'm so grateful, and I'm going to start working through them, and I'm really excited and inspired again. So thank you so much for that. And anyway, I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.